Ripple makes another offer to FTX. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you guys here today. Unfortunately, it is a deep red day. As we can see, we're down 6.25. We have an awesome video for you today. Ripple makes another offer to FTX. If you guys remember, a couple of days ago, I made a video about a week ago about how Ripple has made an offer to FTX. And it was really funny because a lot of people gave me tons and tons of hate down in the comments. Yeah, right. That's absolutely absurd. Well, the thing is, they offered to hire all of their clean employees. But now the new offer is even more extreme. So let's take a look. All right, guys, here it is right here. Ripple makes huge offer to FTX, XRP News. And that was back 8 days ago. It was a great video. You can go check it out. What that first offer was about Ripple is willing to hire all of the FTX employees that are clean, that are not involved in this crazy situation. But as I said, this new article talking about the offer that Ripple has made to FTX is going to blow your mind. So here is that article we covered. Ripple top execs make surprising offer to the employees as exchange files for bankruptcy. And what we covered in this video was that David Schwartz has indicated that the FTX employees are welcome to pursue careers at the blockchain cross-border payments company after the epic collapse of Sam Bankman-Fried's empire. And if you guys remember, XRP, or Ripple, the parent company, has been on a huge hiring spree. They're trying to bring in really highly qualified, talented people. Now, there were some people that were not crooks working at FTX that were not involved, didn't know, or anything like that. So obviously they have to go through the interview process in this. In fact, what's funny is we covered the fact that BitBoy Crypto had applied for the position with Ripple as well. He ended up getting turned down. It was funny because he took it in good spirits. He actually posted it on Twitter, the fact, the actual reply email from there. So let's go take a look at this new article. And hey, real quick, for those of you guys that are here for the charts, we are going to be covering the charts right after we cover this article. We're going to be looking at the weekly, the daily, the 4-hour. We'll even drop to some of these smaller time frames. I know a lot of you guys have been really interested in that type of scenario too. And also, if you're new here, my name is Ryan Hugguns. I'm a crypto and real estate investor here in Orange County, California. My job is to help be your crypto shortcut. So if you're looking for a crypto shortcut, smash that subscribe, hit the thumbs up, leave me a comment down below. If you want to join our team, click the link in the description, all that good stuff. So here it is. Ripple to consider deals for FTX assets, Brad Garlinghouse. So Brad said that the company would be interested in companies owned by FTX that serve business customers. On the sidelines at Ripple's Swell conference in London, which was held on November 16th and 17th, Garlinghouse told the Sunday Times that the former FTX CEO, Sam Bankman-Fried, called him 2 days before the company filed for bankruptcy, and he sought to round up investors to rescue the business. Now, obviously, lots and lots of people received a phone call from Sam Bankman-Fried. All of them had declined because they knew what a crap show that it was all going to be. But interesting, obviously, at the time, Garlinghouse was like, I'm not willing to give you money. And then the company crashes. Now Ripple's like, well, let's go swoop up the dust. And Brad here on his Twitter back on November 16th tweeted out. And by the way, I've been telling you guys, dude, crypto Twitter is where it's at. You've got to get on Twitter. And it's even more cool now because Elon Musk runs it. And it's like an absolute crap show all day, every day. Like, it's actually pretty cool to be on Twitter now. Before, it was kind of lame just because, like, well, it was just lame before. Now it's much better now that everyone's talking and interacting. It's really exciting. So plus there's major breaking news all the time that you get to cover in the crypto world, political world, sports, all of it. It's there. So our 6th annual Ripple Swell is underway. I took the stage this morning with CNBC Karen to discuss all things Ripple, crypto utility, macroeconomic factors affecting crypto, and much more. And it's a whole thread, so you can go check that out if you would like. Just by clicking this, it'll take you over there. But the Ripple CEO said during the call, the two discussed, when he talked to Sam Bankman-Fried, if there were FTX-owned businesses that Ripple would want to own. And Brad went on to say, part of my conversation was if he needs liquidity, maybe there's businesses that he has bought or he has that we would want to own. Would we have bought some of them from him? I definitely think that was on the table, he said. However, Garlinghouse admits that now that FTX has filed for bankruptcy in the United States, a potential transaction for an FTX business will be very different than it would have been if it was going to be a one-to-one. And he says here, I'm not saying we won't look at those things. I'm sure we will, but it's a harder path to the transact. Approximately 130 companies affiliated with FTX, including FTX US, were included in the bankruptcy filing in Delaware. Now, what was really interesting when I was doing the research for this video, I also found this article way back from June 6th where it says Ripple and FTX get aggressive on acquisitions amidst market crash. Because if you guys remember, the market was already falling. FTX was out there trying to swoop up all these different companies. And most of them, they had actually purposely shorted to oblivion so they could pick it up for pennies on the dollar. But it's really interesting just to see this, right? Ripple and FTX get aggressive on acquisitions. Ripple continues to hire people. FTX ends up going bankrupt. And now Ripple is going to swoop up all these companies that FTX bought for even less money. And the offer comes as FTX files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protections officially. And Bankman-Fried has also resigned, entering the 5th day of the crypto exchange's catastrophic meltdown due to a liquidity crunch. And all that information we've already covered, so I'm not going to go through all of it, but Ripple open to hiring FTX employees was also in this article. And of course, FTX files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which we just covered. So along the lines of this storyline, FTX now owes over $3 billion to the 50 biggest creditors that are in the bankruptcy filing. And before we jump over those charts to cover the details of XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, we're also going to jump into the top stories that did happen this week. So, of course, Sam Bankman-Fried received $1 billion in personal loans from Alameda, FTX bankruptcy filing says. Documentation related to the FTX bankruptcy proceedings revealed that the firm was mismanaged on multiple levels. FTX Group was reportedly composed of multiple companies categorized into 4 silos. A $1 billion personal loan was reportedly allocated to former FTX CEO from one of those silos. The documentation also revealed many other holes and oddities relating to the function of FTX. Now, let's get this. Let me set this straight for a second. Because we toss this around a lot in crypto and finance, $1 billion, right? So obviously we talk a lot about becoming a millionaire. Obviously, if you're watching this, you probably would love to be a crypto millionaire if you're not already, or a finance millionaire, period, right? So being a millionaire is one of those goals. Now, $1 billion is like, can we all understand that $1 billion is $1 million times 1,000? All right, so $1 billion, he just got, hey, I need a loan from my own company. Let me get $1 billion real quick, please. That's $1,000 million. Like, what in the F is he doing with this money? Several regulators are reported looking into FTX, including the Securities Commissions of the Bahamas, the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, and self-regulatory U.S. organization has also opened a broader investigation into crypto-involved companies in general, evaluating their communications with the retail public. And remember, the reason that this company was offshore was because they didn't want to have any regulations. They could do anything and everything they want. And you see what's going on here. You see how Sam Bankman-Fried is literally getting away with billions and billions of dollars worth of fraud. And the mainstream media keeps writing all these fluffy, puffy pieces on about how he was the chosen one of crypto and all this crap. It's like really, really strange and weird. Also happening last week, Binance creates industry recovery fund to help projects struggling with liquidity. CZ's new fund looks to help by assisting strong crypto industry companies that have liquidity issues, the CEO said on the November 14th tweet. Such companies should reach out to Binance Labs as well as players looking to add capital to the fund. The fund will not go toward helping FTX, however, as specified by CZ. So he is going to vet the companies first, right? So let's say you had a really great crypto company, and obviously we see what's happening in the market. They keep on getting shorted and shorted and shorted. We have to also remember, when you're running a crypto company, unless it's a meme coin, there is some sort of tech involved that then requires coders to code that tech. And those people have to get paid. Like, people aren't going to be working for free. So if you have a really great, strong tech company that's a real coin, not a meme coin, you can come to them, let them know, hey, this is my project. Basically, he's like venture capitaling these companies out there. Ironically, he's shark tanking like Mr. Wonderful of FTX, right? He's shark tanking the crypto industry. Also happening, the New York Fed launches a 12-week CBDC pilot program. The system will be in cooperation with multiple banking behemoths, including Citibank, PNC Bank, BNY Mellon, Wells Fargo, and others will transact simulated tokenized money via a distributed ledger settled against the simulated central bank reserves. Now, one of the things, I know that the XRP army is out there and they don't really like the CBDC, but I've been doing a lot of research out there. Even if a CBDC comes out, the mechanism of Ripple, the company with the cross-border payment system, will still work because they can settle transactions between the US CBDC versus the Mexican peso CBDC or the Chinese yuan CBDC. There still needs to be crossing of the payments rails. And also a big push last week, everyone's talking about the contagion because it's a domino effect. Right now, obviously FTX went down, but there's more and more companies attached to it. So let's take a look. More than 10 companies have reported having felt negative effects because of the FTX deal. Often when millions of dollars in jeopardy, companies include Galaxy Digital, Sequoia Capital, BlockFi, Crypto.com, and Pantera Capital, among others. At this stage, the impacts on the affected companies do not appear to be devastating for the most part, although the details vary. And then, of course, you have these companies here that could, because these are pretty solid companies, right? If you vetted them properly and they were really solid in the background, these people could reach out to CZ and over at Binance and see if they could help with liquidity issues. SEC pushes deadline to decide on ARK 21 shares spot Bitcoin ETF to January 2023. Now, the interesting thing, I've been doing some research on these ETFs as well. Right now, there are Bitcoin ETFs where you can buy and sell or long and short Bitcoin in an ETF, but it's paper Bitcoin. So if it was a real, the only ETF that should be out there when it comes to crypto is a spot ETF. That way it's one for one, coin for coin with what's being traded out there. Right now, it's a derivative. It's not even a real Bitcoin, which is exactly what got us into this situation. That's what also people are afraid of with the USDT, right? The Tether dollar. Does it really have a one-to-one backing of a dollar to the Tether? We don't know. There's no proof that's been released as of yet. So the SEC, the regulator, has pushed its decision deadline to January 27th of 2023 regarding a rule change that would allow listing of the mainstream Bitcoin product. The commission has delayed the decision twice before on this particular product. Numerous Bitcoin ETFs have faced denials from the SEC in the past. So this is not the first attempt by ARK. So we'll see what happens, see if this actually gets moved through. Winners and losers last week. Bitcoin made it all the way up to 17,095, the low 15,892. Ethereum made it up to 1281 and a low of 1181. So $100 difference there. Altcoin gainers, Wallet Token gained 93%, GMX up 20%, Toncoin up 18%. Top altcoin losers is Casper down 20, Solana down 20, and Kronos, the Crow token, down 18.58.
If you're ready to earn an extra $200 to $3,000 per day in passive income, just like the Run Guys do every single day, then like this video, subscribe to the channel, then click the link in the description of this video to learn the Run Guys' #1 way to start earning passive income online with crypto today.
All right, let's jump into the charts. And yes, all you have to do is click that link down in the description. Come work with us. Apply to see if you can make it. So today we are going to be jumping in the charts here. We are looking at XRP on the daily. It's down 5.92%. We have 46 seconds left in this candle. It's making a little bit of an attempt to battle back up. This would be, here's the situation. The fact that it broke below this right here is not strong. It's not a good thing. This wick right here was a support level, but it is trying to make its way back up there, and we'll dive a little deeper on a smaller time scale. What we can see down here is now, as we've been talking about, price was working its way back, the RSI to the upside, and it was showing the bullish signals here with the green background after today's massive volume candle down. it has crossed back over. The RSI has crossed below the slow moving RSI, turning a red background combined with our black background, giving us a bullish look. Okay, so that's more, or giving us a bearish look. Sorry, I'm thinking bearish. I'm thinking bullish. I just want everything to start climbing. But the other thing that we are keeping track of, if you guys all remember, is we're looking for a potential of a bullish divergence occurring on XRP. So as we can see right now, this is where price has gone, and this is where the RSI has gone. So they're tracking in the same direction. It's getting right to that. And again, this is on the weekly. It's getting right to that market baseline. And also it's getting right to our current trend of the RSI. If price continues to make its way down here, we have a brand new weekly candle just started today. It's an interesting situation because of where price is. And because of our indicator we're running right now, the trend lines with breaks, it's indicating that it's breaking to the upside, right? So you got the confirmed breakout signal right here. This was the confirmed breakout signal down. But because those are so close, they're contradicting. It's on a very large time scale. We can't really trust that yet. But what we're looking for, myself, by the way, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this information is financial advice. Do not buy or sell anything because we talk about on this channel. This is just my personal opinions. And what I would like to see happen is I would love to see price coming down over here. All right, because obviously it's got to be in the future. So price coming down below these current June lows that was back on the June 13th week, right? So price coming down here, as long as, so this would be our RSI, this would be the straight level. As long as the RSI, we can even come like right there, okay? As long as RSI doesn't break below this level here, but price does, that will give us a bullish divergence. And that would be really, really positive because if we go back in history, which we've done a lot, you can see right here, we had a hidden bullish divergence on the weekly chart. Boom, big, massive move up. It did have a comeback and then the actual propulsion there, which was interesting, but that is what we have going on. When we look at this now on the supply and demand zone style with the Higurashi candles, we can see that we're in this supply and demand zone right now. And if it breaks this, I mean, the only thing is it gets a little dangerous, right? If it breaks this zone, does it just come here and take a quick stop? If we look at our weekly supply and demand zones from the history, we would be able to come to here. And let's see. I mean, I guess because this one covers all of these right here, essentially. And then we have this one here, which would be kind of interesting as well. I mean, that's really, really low. But that's on the weekly. And the weekly gives us different numbers. So right here, we have a super low level of a potential, 14 cent. Right here, we have this level here, 25 cents. And that is more of what I'm looking for. Because I don't want it to go that low. Because I also, the other night, I was charting and I flipped over to the monthly charts. So let me get rid of the drawings here. And I went ahead and I did some calculations here on the monthly chart. This gets you down to that 25 cent level. And then if it were to break that, the next level of support's down here, 21 cents to 16 cents. So that's monthlies, right? Monthly is a very, very large time frame. You can see we are bumping off of the 14 exponential moving average on the monthly chart. It went up, tapped it, broke back down. And as you can see here, interestingly enough, these last 2 months gave us some volume pump up, and it did cross over to a bullish style look there. So if we take a look here, and it also gave us, wow, it gave us a hidden bullish divergence on the monthly chart, and that didn't really do anything. I mean, that signaled us here moving up from the 33 cents. Well, I guess it gave us that 22 cent move, but it wasn't the signal of a new bullish bullish cycle. So as you can see, RSI on the monthly crossed above the slower moving RSI, turning the bullish background on because that pump right there had so much volume. It flipped all the indicators, flipped And unfortunately, it did not have any continuation. Same thing on the weekly chart. As we see here, all that volume pumped in, boom, flipped above market baseline, turning our green bullish background on because we had this big volume candle come in, and it ran up pretty good, but it got up to the volatility band expansion too high. So it started coming back down from there. It also bounced off of our 50 exponential moving average. So we need to break above that. Now, that brings me to the next interesting situation here. When we take a look at the daily 50 exponential moving average, so right now it's not even getting above the 14, but if we break the 50, well, we're melting right now on Ethereum. I've got ETH pulled up. I guess because we're on a high time frame, you look at the 1 hour, 5 minutes, starting to drop. XRP also dropping here. It just broke these supports. Oh my gosh, that thing is running. Look at that freaking A, dude. That's the 1 hour candle dropping here. Let's go take a look. Where does that supply and demand zone on the 1 hour stop? It may not be a straight shot, obviously, but there we go. That 34-cent zone. That's where our 1 hour supply and demand zone is right now. If it were to drop below that. So, the new weekly candle is activated and it's starting off bearish. That could be a fake out. So I'm not getting all scared or anything like that, but I'm just letting you guys know. But anyway, back to what we were talking about before we got distracted, because my indicators over here, they just they're freaking falling like crazy. Let's flip back to this. So I'll let it ride here on the Japanese candlesticks while I take a look here. So looking over at my algorithm indicator that I have right now, XRP on the daily is looking crazy bearish, right? There's just continued move down. If we look at the 4 hour, well, the 4 hour is our real problem here. So it made it above our 50 exponential moving average, and then it didn't have the strength to keep going. Once it broke, look at this move. That has been crazy, crazy bearish. And again, this gets us. So these are the 1 hours. Let's show where the 4 hour is, because this could be a 4 hour move. So that candle, and this gives us the red. So that's a big red box. So it covers both of the 1 hours. I don't like that too much. So we'll take this first, 34 cents to 33.9. So basically right at 34 cents as a support. We'll see if that holds. If it doesn't hold and it doesn't bounce back off of that, then we could see that continue drop down here to that 33 cents. So anyway, going back to what we were talking about, let's look at the daily charts, and we're going to go back in history, because for this bullish divergence to happen on XRP, it needs to break below the previous low, which is right here, this June low, right? So price has to break below this previous low. Boom, right there. And that was that 28-cent zone. And then if you guys remember, what we've been tracking is on the daily charts. Let's get rid of these weekly boxes now. I hope you took those notes there. If you were interested in having those, you can feel free to jot those down. Our daily boxes are here though. So the daily box on the yellow. And again, like I said, the daily's bearish, 4 hours bearish. We'll see if we can somehow rescue some short-term bullish indications there, but right now we're not looking great. So we got this supply and demand zone here, which is the 26 cents to 24 cents, right? So you can see right here, 0.26511, and the bottom of that support level is 0.2461. If we lose that, well, before we do that, the reason why that one is so intriguing to me as a real potential is when we go back to the Japanese candlesticks on the daily and we turn on our fair value gap right here, you can see that there's one exactly lined up at that exact spot. So you have this fair value gap sitting right on top of the supply and demand zone. And we have tons and tons of people out there that are like the consensus says, yes, price could drop to 25 cents XRP. Some people are starting to talk about a 9-cent XRP. I don't see it. It's not impossible, but I'm just letting you know there's whispers out there of people talking about that. Okay, so like I said, though, we're starting the new weekly candle. Sometimes it starts with a down wick, so it could be a fake out move for us. We'll see what happens if there's a recovery over the next day or so. We do now have a fair value gap on the daily just because of yesterday's big power move. That could likely be filled, and that would be filled to this location right here. That's where the wick is. So that's 0.3750. And then we also have this big giant fair value gap here too. And what would be interesting, because of the current bearish situation, if price did make a move and price made a move above this daily 50 exponential moving average right there, let's put some notes in there. 50, let's go daily, 50 EMA, swoop above, then hard drop. There is a possibility of that. So price could run up, make that swoop around, and then down. Okay, so I'm going to keep that. I'm going to label that. So I'm going to keep this as my daily potential. All right, so I have that. I'm keeping that in mind. Now we'll go down to the 4-hour charts. As we saw, because this is what I'm talking about on the daily. If price runs above the 50 exponential moving average, and then bam, the bearish signals flash and hit. Now, as you can see here, when price goes down fast, price usually goes back up fast. We have 2 4-hour fair value gaps here. There has been some news coming out about this hacker of the FTX that is dumping Ethereum that could potentially trigger some really, really bearish scenarios for all of crypto. And that could include XRP dropping and so on and so forth. So we're going to keep that in mind when we talk about those scenarios. But you can see price rose above the 50 exponential moving average, boom, broke down. Also, this is daily. So we flip that yellow. Let's go here. This one's going to be red. That was the 4-hour. Okay, 4-hour bearish there, and it played out that way. Let's go to the 1-hour. Let's look at the 1-hour in our indicator here. Oh, man. You know what sucks? The 1-hour had just flipped bullish before all this craziness happened right here. So, and you look here, all of this momentum, boom, 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 was pushing nice. There was actually a little dip below that 50 exponential moving average with the bullish move. That was actually what we talked about yesterday. That happened right after we filmed, right? So we talked about short-term bullish, ran up, but dang, man, that was a hard fall overnight for Saturday night. We are now showing extreme bearish scenarios here on the 1-hour charts. And so if this continues, boom, here's the 1-hour, same scenario. And we'll label this. It's now flipped bearish. So what's interesting, as price started gaining strong strength, it was flipping our lower time frame indicators. So now we have the 15-minute is bearish. It's been bearish now because of obviously all of this slammed down. So much volume down just flipped everything bearish, unfortunately. So looking here at the 15-minute, you can see right here when those two crossed, that was a strong indication of a down. Let's even look at the 5-minute here. So yeah, we're showing bearish. We're showing bearish here too. So what I'm watching for is as price continues to so you can see here, we have this massive drop and then it bounced off the 50. Then it came above the 50, couldn't hold it. Once it crosses back down, I'm looking for continued drops. So right now we're having this massive move down, but could we start to see the 1-minute, same thing, push back up above here and then drop? We need to see the 1-minute claim and create bullish momentum, but right now it's bearish. Okay, so here is our 50 exponential moving average. If it comes here and falls again, then we're not looking good. If it comes here, holds, starts to make its move up, then we need to climb to the 5-minute which will be here. So if price runs up here, holds, runs up here, now we start to get more bullish momentum. Then we get to the 15-minute, gets up to here. And these prices are 36,043, 36,560, and then 37,124. The only problem is as we build these steps, it has to claim them and continue making its way up. And then we still have these to fight as well. Right here down below, we do have our 0.33940. There is a strong likelihood that because this drop was so massive, so bullish, and we do have those 4-hour fair value gaps to fill, price very likely could be running back up to this 1100 exponential moving average today sometime. That's 0.3739. And then I'll bet you, let's go 4-hour. Let's go back to fair value. Oh, wait. Back to 1 minute. We're going to tag this right here. This one's 1100. Okay. Now we go indicators, fair value on the 4-hour. And let's find out. Yeah, check that out, right? So look at this. This is definitely a possibility. The 1100 exponential moving average is sitting right here. The 14 exponential moving average is sitting right here. So this is the 1100 of the 1 minute. It's that blue line. 1400 is here. And we have a fair value gap. So if price were to make a move back up here, price may need to get here first, this 34 cent. But I don't know. I mean, it already already had this huge dip. It also cleared out this fair value gap that was over here from this candle. Remember this candle back here that happened November 14th? It came and filled that gap fully. Now it can make its move to the upside, fill these gaps. And that 1 minute 1100 exponential moving average is up there. So we'll see. All right, keep an eye on that. We're also broken all the way outside of our volatility band, which it's not supposed to go that deep out without coming back some sort of way. So I'm looking for some sort of recovery in these first upcoming hours of XRP. But long-term, still bearish, thinking it's going to drop. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. Do not take financial advice from me. Do your own research. All right, jump into Ethereum. Ethereum has the same thing, right? So the volume moved down, big giant candles leaving these fair value gaps here. It does have a daily supply and demand zone we talked about yesterday that it could likely come and get to. And that is here at 1,119. There is a deep fair value gap below that one at $985 on the 4 hours. But let's take a look at this. Let's see if we get a same style scenario here. So if we take a look at our, well, that would be a big move though. $40 today. The 1100 exponential moving average on the 1 minute chart, 1175. So price comes back up here potentially. And let's go look at that 4 hour and let's look at that fair value gap. Bet it's right in that same zone. Very close. And it's also right at that support level of our daily candle. Oh, no, that doesn't need to be there. Okay, so that comes from this daily bottom here. It acted as a support, broke that. We talked about that yesterday. If that broke there, it could be bad. Came down. I don't know what this dot is right here. It's the middle of the fair value gap. I'm not sure what I was doing yesterday when I was charting last night for that specific spot. It's the 1 hour. The bottom of this 1 hour candle. It is a fair value gap. Anyway, sometimes you guys get to see me do this live. So I'm charting basically all day long. And then when I see things change, trying to set up and see what kind of trade I want to make today. Let's take a look at this. So we'll see that the 1 minute chart just tapped off. Let's close the fair value gaps. 1 minute chart just tapped off the 50 exponential moving average after a bearish drop. Come back, retest that. We'll see if this continues to fall or if it jumps up here and regains the strength. That's what we're watching for on XRP. It's what we're watching for on Ethereum. Same thing for Bitcoin. Bitcoin hasn't even made it up there yet. Bitcoin does have this daily supply and demand zone down here at 16,088. We'll see if it hits there. Daily Bitcoin. Remember, we talked about this a couple of days ago. This was that 1 hour bearish break. If the 1 hour candles got here and it finally broke this level, we could see a drop. And sure enough, played out pretty solid there from 16,593 all the way down here, breaking below the level of 16,252, $400 move. All right, taking a look at Ethereum now. Ethereum has now officially also on the daily turned back bearish. We have the daily bearish, 4 hour is bearish. In fact, it just did the same thing on Ethereum. Or hold on. Start over. All right. Daily Bitcoin, bearish. 4 hour Bitcoin, bearish. 1 hour Bitcoin, bearish. 30 minutes Bitcoin, super bear. 15 minutes, extremely bearish. 5 minutes, crazy bearish. And also the 1 minute. So all the time frames, same scenario here for Bitcoin. Right now, it's going to have to start climbing time frame by time frame above the 50 exponential moving average, claiming it as a support. So it claims it here support. Okay. Then it would move. Mark that for now. Then it would move to the 5 minute, claim this level as a support. Then it would go to the 15 minute, claim this level as a support. And in fact, on this 15-minute time frame, if it claims this level as a support, that would be getting to the 1 minute 1100 exponential moving average, which is currently sitting at about 16,500. So watch for those things. If we don't continue to drop, watch the climb of the 50 exponential moving average on all the coins that we just covered, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. And by the way, if you are really interested in partnering with us and starting to work with us on some passive income, so you don't have to worry if crypto goes up and down, check this out.
If you're ready to earn an extra $200 to $3,000 per day in passive income, just like the Run Guys do every single day, then like this video, subscribe to the channel, then click the link in the description of this video to learn the Run Guys' #1 way to start earning passive income online with crypto today.